Hey guys, welcome back to another Weekend of Meals video. Today I have a couple of lunch ideas and dinner ideas that were so good and super easy, and as always, a little bit of family fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button, and let's get to it. So I made these pinwheels for lunch, but they also make a great snack or appetizer. So I just have some softened cream cheese, some Mexican blend cheese, of course you could use any kind you want, some cucumbers and black olives that needed to be used up in the fridge, some large tortillas, some shredded turkey, some real bacon bits, and some green onions. So I just started out by spreading my cream cheese onto my tortilla, and I'm just going to make sure that I get it all covered all the way to the edges. Next, I'm adding on some of my shredded turkey. Then I'm going to add on my bacon bits and all of my veggies and get this rolled up as tightly as I can. I can never roll these tight enough, but they turn out delicious. They don't have to be perfect. So I just cut the ends off to make these a little bit prettier, and then I'm going to roll these up in plastic wrap and put them in the fridge. Of course you can eat them right now, but they're better after they sit in the fridge for a while. And I forgot to get a clip of them after I cut them. But they turned out so good, and I also ended up making a different kind, which I'll show you right here. On the second one, I just had my cream cheese, some of that turkey, and then I added on some chopped bell peppers. These were just the tricolor sweet peppers, some red onion, and the Mexican blend cheese. And then I just rolled this one up and stuck it in the fridge as well. For dinner tonight, we're making one of my favorites. We're making some chicken Parmesan. So in one of our pans, we're just going to add in some garlic panko breadcrumbs, some salt and pepper and onion powder, some flour, and some Parmesan cheese.
Give me the milk.
And in our other dish, we have some eggs, a little bit of cayenne, and some milk.
Check your chicken.
Oh.
Just always check it, man. You just never know. That's a piece of bone.
It's a rib bone.
Sharp piece of bone.
So we just butterflied 2 chicken breasts and then cut them in half to make them thinner. And then we're going to pound them out until they're really thin and bigger. And then we'll get to breading these. To go with our chicken parmesan, we're just making some of this Parmesan couscous that only takes 5 minutes to make, and it's so good. And then we're just gonna throw some frozen garlic bread into the air fryer. Once we got our chicken all fried up on both sides, we put these on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Then we're gonna add on our marinara sauce. I'll have that recipe down in the description box. Then we're gonna add on some mozzarella and Parmesan cheese and put these in the oven on 375, I think, just for a couple of minutes until all the cheese melts and everything is warmed back through. Like I said, chicken parmesan is one of my favorite dinners, and this turned out so good. The next day we had another picnic at the park day. We went and got some Wendy's and headed to a different park. And for some reason, every time we go, it gets super windy while we're trying to eat. But it was so good and the boys had a ton of fun. I didn't get to film much of them because they were playing with a whole bunch of other kids. And I never record other people's kids without permission, but it was fun. They made some new friends and they had a blast. The next day, Adam made us some brunch, and it was so good. And then most of the day, while the boys were playing in their room or playing outside, Adam and I were sitting and watching this show called Alone. I think it's on the History Channel. We've really gotten into this show. It's really good, so if you like those survival type of shows, you should definitely check it out. And on this night for dinner, we wanted to make some chili, which you guys have seen us make a million times, a million different ways. We never really have a recipe for this, but I'll link a couple of videos down below where we've made some before. So I'm just going to put what we added up here on the screen. While I ask you guys, if you have any dinner ideas, lunch ideas, breakfast, snacks, anything, whether it's your favorite or just something you want to see because you've never tried it before and you want us to test it out, let me know down in the comments below or send me an email. My email is always in the description box. We've been in kind of a dinner slump lately. I don't know. Like, there's ideas all over the place, but it seems like everything we look at, we're like, we've made something like that, or we make that all the time, or that just doesn't sound good. I don't know. It just seems like we've made so many different things that we're like, what do we make now? Like, there's some meals that we like to make over and over, but not all the time. Like, we're not the type of people that can eat like spaghetti once a week or something like that. We always like to try stuff that's new. So if you have any ideas, like I said, leave them down in the comments below, even if it's not a recipe, just an idea, or send them to my email, because we're always up for trying new things. As usual, I topped my chili off with some Fritos, shredded cheese, some red onions, and sour cream, and this was so good on a chilly night. So I just have a 5-ounce can of boneless, skinless salmon in here that I flaked up. Then I added in about 6 saltine crackers that I crushed. And then to season this, since I didn't have any lemon juice to put on top of them, I added in some Tony seasoning, some lemon pepper, a little bit of Worcestershire, and then once I started mixing them up, they were a little bit too wet, so I added in some of that garlic panko. Once I got these formed into patties, I just put them in the air fryer on 375 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. And these turned out so good. They reminded me of my childhood. My mom used to make these all the time. And I just served these with some tartar sauce, and then I had some french fries with some ketchup and vinegar. And then I had one of these Starlight Edition Cokes. Let me know what you think these taste like. A few people told me they thought it was cotton candy. To me, it tastes like Big Red mixed with Coke. I don't know. If you tried them, let me know down below. The next night for dinner, Adam smoked a roast all day. This was a big 3.5-pound pork roast that we had. I missed him adding on the seasonings, but he used some salt and pepper, some of this Kenny seasoning, and some smoky pecan seasoning. He put this in the smoker on 250 degrees, I believe, for about 3 hours. Then he took it out and wrapped it in some foil and put it back in for 2 to 2.5 hours. And to go with our pork roast, we're just making some corn on the cob. And then I'm going to make some pork gravy, and we'll probably add in some of the drippings from the roast. Then I'm going to make some mashed potatoes and some Texas toast. This turned out so good, and that was so much pork. We didn't even eat half of it, so make sure you stick around to the next video to see what we make with the leftovers. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also consider subscribing down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.